Okay, so August 4th, 2022, Thursday, 5:51 p.m. Eastern Time. So Chad Films here, Chad Xavier Harris, Chad Xavier Trades, Black Guy Dipping here. So we're continuing the documentary we're doing on you know my life, which is filled with a lot of drama and trauma. Drama and trauma, basically. A lot of drama, a lot of trauma. And then on top of that, I'm a guy that wants to be a dramatic actor and stuff. On top of actually writing films and directing films and stuff as well. So not just an actor. So definitely the triple threat, like the class A actor, the actor every actor wishes they could be if they wanted that much responsibility. Some actors just want to only be an actor, and that's cool. And you still make $500 million doing that. So I'll Gucci. But if you can also write something for you to act in, for others to act in, and for you to sell it, or for you to sell it and then direct it, and then direct it and not act in it, or direct it and act in it, it just adds to the possibilities of what you could do for the project. I'm just gonna produce it and write it and direct it and not act in this one and act in the film. You won't act in your own movies as a director because you really want to direct. And, you know what I'm saying? And not get caught up in that. And learn how to direct without being in the film first. Since you're an actor, so you're not used to being behind the camera the same way a director who's not an actor who transitions into acting won't be used to being in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? But the director most likely will be very used to being in front of the camera. Most likely, you can see it in most of them. Antoine Fuqua, I don't see him in his movies, but John Singleton, I don't see him in the movies, but you'll see, you'll see, Hughes Brothers, you'll see them in the movie. They done made more movies than Menace to Society anyway. You know, Pissed Off Tupac and their career was over. You know, they remember for getting it, fight with Tupac on the video set. It's crazy. And then, over that movie and stuff. I guess that's what it was. Not the video set. It was like he gave them their first job, directed his video. That's what that was. It wasn't a music video. It was a film set. You know what I'm saying? So like he helped them out. They're big and they're bucking and stuff. So it's like what? Yeah, so it made sense why he beat him up. It made sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, what? Niggas? What? What niggas? You know what I'm saying? It made sense. Yeah. You know, do that to Black Panther. You asking for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was a second generation Black Panther, so he didn't have that. He had to deal with how the effects of them destroying the first generation, but he didn't really have to go through that. He went through like different, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Straight Black Panther with it, bro. Like real talk. Like Black Panther, who's gonna challenge them? Crack cocaine, right? Into crack cocaine, you know? And that's where crack came from, children. Black Panthers. Crack popped up after the Black Panthers popped up. Crack was to get rid of the Black Panthers, basically. And it worked. It worked seamlessly, flawlessly, just with much elegance and radiance and joy in the air. Isn't that something? You know? But that's how you fight fire. You don't fight fire with fire. You fight fire by thinking like fire. That's the sound of my water gun, nigga. So it's like that, bro. Like, you fight fire with fire like dogs. Mixed with a lot of water and dirt, soil, salt, a little pepper, maybe a little bit of gas. You look like you like oil fires. You look like you like fires with oil, gasoline. Hmm. Get ready for like learning languages with me. I'm going to like study languages. Just study the words and the phrases I would use and type in stuff in the translator and read it, and just start getting used to it, and just slowly do it for the rest of my life, and just get more familiar with the words of different languages first, know the words, and then how they structure their sentences with subjects and predicates and things like that, you know. But to talk about the trauma thing. All right, so like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I asked my mom one night. I was like, "Why don't you type anymore?" She used to type like every night, all night and stuff. And then I would just ask her like, well, "You haven't been typing in a few weeks," and she's like, "I've been discouraged." And then that worries me because I'm like, who's been discouraging you? And I want to make sure I wasn't discouraging you. So I was worried. And it's like, what is going on? So she finally tells me like yesterday. She was like, she'll tell me why she's been discouraged because of like what this documentary is about. My trauma, and it was making her feel like a bad mom that things still happen to her kids, and including me. And you know, and then what I'm saying. So that bothered me all day yesterday. After that, and I cried about it a few times, like through the night, until I finally went inside. I just went to sleep, but about 2 in the morning. But that bothers me. That just the fact that I'm so bothered by what's going on, it bothers my mom, and that's naturally what would happen. And just the fact that she feels like a bad mom because of that makes her a good mom. You know what I'm saying? A bad mom wouldn't feel anything. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad didn't feel anything. Like when I told him like what happened in his absence and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I was 20 years old. I was 20 years old. I was in Miami for a few months, and then in the last like 2 weeks or something, I went to my dad's apartment. So I'm there with him. He was telling me things I still remember till today. He was telling me about Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs and how I was trying to skip the ladder in the hierarchy and not take care of my needs, right? And just skipping straight to what was the last one. It was like attainment. It was like uh, actualization and realization. Those are the last ones. Actualization and realization. He was like, you're just trying to jump to those. And it's like, that's what makes me a legend. But 10 years later, 12 years later, 10 years later, I can see, you know, um, you know. But like the philosophical journey was more like if you pursue your needs, by the time you like have that taken care of, you kind of never have it taken care of, and you're just like stuck in that rut. So it's just more like I put it all on the line, and I paid my dues for that actualization. I just went without a lot of needs for those years. Just went without it in the pursuit of something that would take care of all the needs. And so after that hard route, the universe paid up. And now I'm working on these projects. But it's you know, RIP Chadwick Boseman. I just want to create something impactful, and this is the best thing to talk about and to film and to record. So I went on Amazon and I bought a flash drive, but it's a lectures, meetings, audio recorder for 16 gigabytes. And it just comes in the form of a flash drive with the speakers at the end of the flash drive that would stick out of the computer, obviously, right? The plastic part. So I got that one. Then I got a 64 gigabyte SD card, and because I was $4 short on a 2 pack of 128 gigabytes, so I would have had 250 gigabytes instead of 64. So, but at least I have 64, and then I could at least use that for the 16 gigs at a time. Do that like 3, 4, 5, 6 times or whatever, 3 times, 4 or 5 times, and then from there, when I make those audio files, most of them, I'm going to upload them on YouTube by converting them first from an MP3 audio file to Windows Movie Video or whatever, and just upload it straight like that, blank screen, ASMR, no stimulation, just straight. You're going to sleep, bro. Like, all you need is a blank screen. You don't want to be stimulated by anything. You don't want to watch anything. You want to go to sleep. You just want to listen. Boom, so you got straight audio album now and comedy albums and all the stuff you want to do. Comedy albums and everything, and get back on my audio albums now. How am I going to do the audio this time? Record the audio, convert it immediately over to a video, put it up, and then only save the audio and video conversions um, for the files that you're using for the movies and stuff until you just get way more space. But the way you're working, you're going to accumulate the data very quickly, so you're going to need the space. That's why you have to keep buying whatever flash drive you can afford. 64 gigs, 100 gigs, 128 gigs until you can get the 2,000 gigabyte hard drive, external hard drive. Boom, then you get a couple of those. Now you have your 5,000 gigabytes of free space back. You can accumulate 5,000 gigabytes of stock footage and then get another 5,000 gigabytes of free space. And then from there, that's for you. 5,000 gigabytes for yourself, audio and video yourself. Then 5,000 gigabytes for the stock footage to be used for the movies. And some of that footage for yourself will be used for the movies. And most of that footage, a lot of that footage won't be on those hard drives because they're going to be black eye dipping YouTube videos, and we're just going to upload those straight. And then when it's time to edit videos and edit movies from there, and you have a hard drive for that, you'll find out how to download the video files and then just save them on there when it's time. But for now, put those straight up, because if you add those to the collection, you'll go up too fast in space. You won't be able to keep up right now. You're gonna have to get your 5,000 gigabytes. I need 1,000 gigabytes, 100 gigabytes. A few weeks it'll last me, so it's like every week I have to keep buying more. 100 gigabytes at a time minimum. Really nothing lower than 128 gigabytes, a whole 24 hours worth of data in space. So do that 10 times, that's 1,000 gigabytes. Do that 10 more times, that's 2,000 gigabytes. So I can go ahead and buy the $30 external hard drive twice, drop $60 on it, buy two of them, 4,000 gigabytes, get one more, boom, 6,000 gigabytes, and then from there, get another 4,000 gigabytes. And then from there, you just keep getting 128 gigs at a time for a two pack, 260 gigs at a time, just so you have something smaller so you never have to take your external hard drive with you and stuff like that, or at least it could be with you, but you don't have to have it plugged into your computer, and then you have it all backed up, and then you start getting more hard drives for backup, and you'll back them up in zip files. You'll back it up right there. You put the folders in zip and just zip them all there, and that one would be good. Compress a lot of space, and be Gucci. So yeah, excuse me, last night was rough just because I'm working on this documentary about, the trauma I went through. So naturally, you're digging up your deepest, worst memories and your skeletons in your closet. So naturally, you're gonna just be, screwed. Thinking about how you were just screwed as a child, just literally, you know what I'm saying? So fighting those emotions, like embracing them, just going through them, just feeling those emotions, not even fighting at that point, just really feeling, because I understand why they're really coming at that point. Like, they're normally just gonna come back and forth anyway, but the fact that I'm also willing to face it and write it, and now it's like, all right, you want to face it? All right, check this out. Here's how it goes, but you have to face this story that you're writing every day. That's a very important aspect and element of being a writer, is the fact that whatever you write, you're gonna have to face that every day. If you're writing, One Good Scare, Halloween remake, Michael Myers and stuff, the Boogeyman, you're gonna have to live that every day. It's every day you have to live Michael Myers. Just live Laurie Strode, live all of that. And the fact that I said One Good Scare, I've been, from years ago, I started a story, a remake of Halloween. I was going to call it One Good Scare. So now that I have this opportunity, I might really start working on it again, just because I might really be able to make it. One Good Scare. It's a whole total revamp of Halloween. Finally be like what Jamie Lee Curtis wants. You know, you know. You know, it's time for Jamie Lee Curtis to be in those movies like, you know, just the grandma, like, and really smart dialogue, really sophisticated grandma. You know, it's all she needs to be those roles. Just the grandma sits down at the table and she talks a lot of stuff. You know, she could be like Medea, basically, like the white Medea kind of thing, just like real intelligent dialogue, just what they're talking about. You know, she's been holding down Halloween for 40 years, even though she took off like 20 years. So she really been holding it down for like 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Like popping in and out for 40 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? At a certain point, Michael Corleone died. You know what I'm saying? Al Pacino was able to move on. This is in the 90s, and this is 20 years after the first two Godfathers. So imagine 40 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like even with Bad Boys, right? Then they just like kill off, one of the characters. So it's like, they just end up doing that, bro. Men in Black, they did it. They killed off Tommy Lee Jones, but then came back at the end. You know what I'm saying? But it was really that's one of my favorite ones. Men in Black 3. I love them all, but the first one and the third one. So I always like the second one anyway. It's the second one, but when the third one came out, I was like, yep, that's my favorite one. Then they came out with another one. I didn't see it, but if they did the third one, that was real good. But yeah, bro, like I was going through it last night. I was getting ready to record the me crying on cue. I can really do it now, especially like with writing this. Like this, I'm able to evoke emotion from just thinking about like the documentary and the different things attached to it. And with my mom, that situation as an actor, that's a button. So that's what I'm doing here, bro. I'm showing you how to pimp your depression. Like earlier today, I wanted to be filming. It's the end of the day, and I'm just filming out, right? So earlier today, I was feeling like real up about it. Like, you know what? Like, we're gonna record some videos and we're gonna just tell everybody to just like pimp their emotion. We're just gonna show them how to pimp their emotion. Just pimp your emotion, bro. I'm gonna show you how to pimp your emotion. You know what I'm saying? It's like you use all of this manic, depressing emotion that you have, and you study whatever you're interested in. You study it maniacally, obsessively. You can study it and you get better, and now you're like adding more value to your life. Like you are going to bring yourself out of the depression until the point where you have enough peace with it to where it still exists. It's still there. It's never gonna go away, bro. It's there for a reason, and you're gonna search, figure out what the reason is. And if you already know, then from there we just go to tips from me to you on how to really get through it. And you're gonna watch me suffer and struggle with it, and to my degree on the spectrum, whatever I rank on the spectrum of crazy. You get to see it, and I'm filming all my crazy, and you can see it. You can see I'm jittery. I can't stop moving. I'm always checking around like a meerkat. You know what I'm saying? I'm always like watching my back. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never be too paranoid as a black man, you feel me? And I'm actually, a Floridian. I identify with people born in Florida, man. Straight up, actually, I identify with Floridians. I identify with Viva Miami. Welcome to Bienvenido a Miami. Welcome to the city where the heat is on. Welcome to the city where the heat is on. No, 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 come on now. Welcome to the city where the heat is on. To the break of dawn. So what's in between? Welcome to the city where the heat is on. All play no work to the early morning, something like that. Welcome to the city where the heat is on. You know what I'm saying? Jack Frost done lost his mind. That was yo, Carter Jet kind of thing, right? So, that was before helicopters, right, Mr. Smith? Mr. Smackarock? Smack rocks. I would tell you to kick rocks, but you already did. But you probably, I would tell you to kick rocks, but you probably would. Okay. So I'm getting at peace with my, emotion, right? But at the same time, now that I'm delving into this story, I'll gain more peace by the time this is over. But man, last night was rough, and this tonight could be rough as well. You know what I'm saying? I had blood and everything, and we're gonna definitely discuss that soon. The whole where does Bud play his place, but we want to like break it down. Like, so I started off, I'm Chad, right? I grew up wanting to be an artist. That was it, right? Writing, filming, directing, acting, and anything along those lines. Poetry, of course, poetry was the original format. So of course, I'll come back and do some poems for you all and add some cadences that I have finally after years able to have a cadence to the poem, and that's why the practicing the freestyle and then just figuring out a cadence and practicing the freestyle on how to rap at different velocities. So then you can just make a cadence in between the velocities you're capable of, and never really scaling all the way to the top off the thing with rapping, but that just you know take the cadence as much as I needed for that project and just do it like that. And then when I get the audio, do that as well in the audio. And then that's going to be like these poem albums, these poetry albums, poetry collections, and stuff like that, spoken word collections, and things like that. I'm going to add melody to it, and it's all going to be a cappella. And then I try to get some producers I know to just make snare snaps for me and stuff. And I try to get those loops and do it myself. But I just try to have some other people make something for me and just poems, simple, snare, snap, acapella, no real music. If you have a little piano or if you can replace the snare with something else, piano, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's a few notes of it, or just whatever, saxophone, guitar, whatever, snare plus one of those. Add a snare to a guitar or a piano or a saxophone kind of loop. And you just go from there and then boom, poem, and it's like, eh, and it's just like you hit a piano, put all three. You hit a piano, you hit a guitar, you hit a saxophone. Boom, all three together. That's the triple. You're out. You're knocked out at that point. You got a guitar, acoustic, or electric guitar. Don't matter. Both. Get the acoustic guitar, electric guitar. Boom, now you got a four. You got a quadruple whammy, bro. It's a rap now. Acoustic guitar, electric guitar. You don't have to put them all at the same, one at the same time all the time. You can have one like that, all four, then another, just a couple, two, then another three. Just have fun with it, and then um, just according to my voice, my vocal is the beat. Just match those loops to what I'm saying. When I'm done with one line, throw something in there. Do 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 do. Boom. So everything else would be silent, unless you set it up a certain way where it's like you have the instruments that are not snares, James Brown wouldn't agree to that. It's just Chadwick Boseman magazine right there, book, right? But if you have the James Brown uh, snares, right? Theory, every instrument is a snare, it's a drum. So you can have your guitar, your piano, and your saxophone lead up to the snare, and boom, you know what I'm saying? Boom, you do it just like that. That right there is fire, and you're able to see my artistic mind right there, boom, just is that easy, and I'm just grateful for it. But the nature of this documentary is just more on the other side of the creativity. It's like you're seeing where the creativity comes from, but now I'm showing you like where it like really comes from. Like it does not come from the depression, bro. It has nothing to do with it, but the depression is like a sidekick to the creativity that allows me to expand the creativity to new levels because otherwise, if I don't, I'll just be sad as a sad person. To be a sad as a sad person is a sad thing, a sad world that you're in, sadly. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like real talk. It's like you either feel good or you don't. You're either smiling or you're crying. It's one or the other. Or you're in between a smile and a cry, huh? Welcome to Planet Earth. You'll be in between a smile and a cry for 80 years. Some days you won't know what to do. Some days you'll do both. The other day, last night, maybe last night, the other day, I was crying and laughing at the same time. I was crying so much, I started laughing. Crying so much, I started laughing. That's going to be great on camera. That's going to be great. That is Robin Williams. I can see how my acting ability is getting enhanced by this depression. Now, something else that you are doing with your life that's probably not acting, art, we got to find a way for this to work for you. How do we work this for you? So at least first, let's say this, like, okay, let's say you don't want to be an actor. That's cool. I'm still going to show you how to be an actor because once you get I'm going to teach actors to real people who are not even pursuing acting so they know how to act like what they want. Real talk. I'm going to give you the secrets to acting so you can be a James Dean of your industry. I'm going to show you how to act. And then from there, you write the character of the person you want to be, and you just have to act like that person. Real talk. I'll help you write the character and everything just by giving you templates and stuff. So boom, that in itself is groundbreaking, ground changing. That's gonna make me an acting coach for people who are not even actors. Yes. Going to a seminar. For what? Acting. You wanna be an actor? No. This dude is a great actor, and he's going to show me how to be a great actor so I can act like the person I want to be. Like, it's a very, very crazy philosophy. In fact, that pretty much makes me responsible for creating that as a philosophy. To take the philosophy of acting and to apply it to your real life. Learn how to be a real actor, not just playing. No, I mean, like, learn how to get into the real character. Learn how to really do that. And when you know how to do that, it is a wrap because now you're going to do that for your industry, whatever you want to be, write the character for that. Real talk. And then become that character and just method act. You have to method act in real life. Method act. That's basically what I've been doing this whole time anyway. I just convinced myself that I really was what I said I was. Everyone else said I was a fraud. So that was where the war started. Welcome to the Matrix. You know? So so I'm not gonna tell you what I was thinking. I was thinking about a girl back in the day. So sorry. I'm so sorry. Uh, but even with working on a documentary, having to dredge up these emotions, judge, dredge, judge, dredge. That's a good one. Dredge. No, it's a new one by some guy who writes under Vanessa Stallone. You know, you know. So